Hi, this is Shadi. Today we're going to be looking at a fight between a karateka and a judoka circa 1991. I got the footage from fighting commentary breakdowns, so if you see something that pops on the screen, know that I got it from his channel, and you can always go for his commentary on his channel, of course. It's a very surprising fight. Of course, you're going to see some of the expected things, but at the same time, both do some unexpected moves, and I had to share them with you. It's a very fundamental, but at the same time, very exciting to watch at the same time. But of course, before we do all of this, don't forget to check out my book, a translation of the manuscript, The Origins and History of Judo. Links, of course, below. So the fight starts. Karateka is wearing gloves. Judoka immediately closes the distance and goes for a Ken Uchimata. Almost tries to go for an Ude Garami, but it was far more feasible to do a Waki Gatame. So here he almost locks the head and then reaps the thigh from the side, and then here tries to go for Ude Garami, but then from here it was easier to do Waki Gatame. Gets the tap, so they get to reset and start over again. So Uchimata, of course, everyone knows this. It's basically lift, bring close to you, and then go down. There's many ways you can do it. You can do it with the arm down the back, wrapping the head, overhook, underhook, and then grasping of the arm or the sleeve, rotating them like a steering wheel. So in terms of submissions, he goes for this one here, the Ude Garami, with a stretched arm. Can also work as well, but it would be targeting more the elbow rather than the shoulder. But then here, same situation, goes for this one, the Waki Gatame. Waki is not necessarily armpit, but it's everything on the side, so like ribs, armpit, that area of the body. And here you can see the multiple entries to this arm lock. You can even do it as a form of Juji Gatame, but if you're encircling the arm like this, similar to Ronda Rousey in a sense, that would be somewhat of a Waki Gatame. So fight continues, and here the karateka pulls out something very unexpected, and here this is the writing I was talking about. So he tries to go for the leg, which is somewhat dangerous if you're fighting a karateka, but here look, he body locks, gets a lift, and throws backward with a massive Ura Nage. So here locks the hips, gets a lift, bend the knees, and then rotates and throws, sacrificing himself backward. Very similar to this, but he ends up on his torso on the front, but similar principles are being applied. Again, it was unexpected by the karateka to do something like this. It was brilliantly done, and they get to reset the fight. So the fight continues. Apparently the judoka did not like that Ura Nage, and then immediately goes for a deep grip down the back. Ken Uchimata again. He, I would say, was not happy by that Ura Nage, and here goes for a Kesa Gatame, or a scarf hold, but the karateka kind of turns and twists in order to escape. Here they reset the fight. He goes out of the surface, and then now here this is what frightens me about good strikers, is that the moment you give them the slightest distance, that strike can be, KO, and they're very, very, very scary. And that, for example, look at this one here, this axe kick, that's terrifying. I saw it once in an MMA fight, and it was, of course, a knockout. These things like a spinning elbow or a flying knee or an axe kick, these things are genuinely terrifying. So when people debate what's good for self-defense or not, they're all great. Just of course, you know, you have to be careful, especially even in a friendly sparring match. Here goes for a ko sotogari, but then again, the karateka goes for a footlock, and that's the thing about straight footlocks, is that they look easy, but there's a little bit of details around the Achilles or the calf muscle that not everyone knows how to finish them. But here the judoka actually gets the tap because he was actually gripping it. It looked like a calf crush, but the karateka was laying down on his shoulders, and he was not giving the toes a room to, you know, extend, and thus completing the footlock. And again, they look easy, but they're not. You can yank and pull your head all the way back, but that doesn't mean you know how to do a footlock. So the judoka gets it from a cross grip, and the lever is much shorter, gets the bend on the knee, and finishes it. So here, for example, a few strikes. Oof, not this one here. That would be considered a knockout. Then again, you know, on something like concrete or asphalt, if you drop like this on your head, it's a lot of damage, and it can be permanent, a lot of it. So, you know, be careful, guys. But in a friendly sparring, also same thing. Look at these kicks. Of course, they're very painful. I remember in Aikido, we were training the Mawashigeri, even on the side of the thigh, very painful when you get a good shin on it. Here, goes for the leg, then finishes it with an Uchigari. Let's see it again. Goes for the Sukui Nage, then doesn't get the proper lift, and then finishes it with a big inner reap. Brilliant ippon. Very much like Kashi Uwazaki. He was also very good at this. It's one of those, you know, the techniques that don't get the credit. Look at this, lifts the sleeve, fools him by feinting a scooping throw, finishing it with a big inner reap. Kashiwazaki, one of the greats, and here tries to get an ude garami again, but it was finished, and that's the fight mainly. I think it's great, you know, when you see styles go over it. Of course, you have to be mindful of the other if someone is not experienced in striking, so, and they can be sensitive to strikes or whatever, their reflex, etc. Same for those who haven't grappled. When you catch them in a submission, make sure you do it progressively, because they don't know what you know, and if you have them locked in, they're not going anywhere. So there's no need to yank or do anything. Do it progressively, give them the chance to tap, ask them, are you good, etc. So if you have anything to add, let me know down below. Don't forget to check out the links below. Please like this video. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.